Turning back now to our top story, Britain's Prime Minister is warning that the Eurozone must make up or break up. David Cameron tells business leaders a global recession is in the cards if Europe doesn't get its act together. For more on this, we go live to London. Laura Smith standing by with more. So the British PM in no doubt about the severity of the situation right now. What's he expecting to happen in the Eurozone?
That's right, and this is a stronger speech than he's really ever given before. He used these words that the Eurozone has to make up or break up. Essentially what he's saying is support Greece or see the Eurozone fail. He's calling for Eurozone states and institutions to step in and help Greece to support those weaker economies, and not just Greece, but possibly Spain and Italy as well. As I say, these are stronger words than he's ever used before. He explicitly said that Germany must do more. He talked about the remorseless logic of the euro, which is, according to him, a sort of a rigid system that locks in any kind of flexibility in terms of currency. Of course, what a country like Greece would normally do if it had its own currency would be to devalue it, but inside the realms of the euro, that's just not a possible option for them. So Cameron is saying that the stronger states must be help the weaker ones. And he also said that the logic of a monetary union urges more political cooperation. So that dictates a collective responsibility from all the countries to help out the weaker ones. That this sort of fiscal burden sharing that he's talking about, and also a supportive monetary policy amongst all the countries in this zone.
And what about Britain's own interests? Some of the fallout surely beyond Cameron's control. Do you think the UK is still an EU team player? Is that what analysts are saying?
Well, of course, people are very quick to say that, of course, the UK is not a member of the Eurozone. So in a sense, what business does Cameron have, particularly to criticise countries like Germany and France when the UK's economy isn't necessarily involved? But Cameron's message today was that he wants to see the Eurozone succeed because it's in every country's financial interests to have strong economic neighbours. But David Cameron sees really his job in all this to keep Britain safe, as he says. He says it's in the UK interest to have these stable neighbours. Now, he's looking at quite a difficult day today because he made this very strong speech this morning, and then in the afternoon he's having to have a conference call with German Chancellor Angela Merkel, new French President François Hollande, with whom he's already had some differences. François Hollande says that the British treat the EU like a self-service restaurant, and of course Italian Prime Minister Mario Monti. So he's going to have some explaining to do during that meeting. But David Cameron's message really is that he doesn't want Greece to drop out of the Eurozone. Experts are now saying that if that does happen, then it could cause 10 years of global depression, this sort of turmoil in the financial markets that won't be got over quickly. Also, of course, he won't be able to forget that the very austerity that is at the moment failing in Europe is the same austerity that he is pushing in Britain and also trying to push to other European countries as well. So it's a politically very difficult position for him to be in.
Now, if the efforts are to stop Greece's problems infecting other countries, why doesn't it seem to be what's playing out?
It doesn't seem to be what's playing out at all. What we're seeing in Greece at the moment is a new Prime Minister who's, of course, a caretaker Prime Minister up until a new election can be held on the 17th of June. And there are huge fears that the Greek people will ultimately elect an anti-austerity government. And if that happens, it means that they won't have access to any more bailouts from Eurozone countries. We're seeing panic withdrawing from banks in Greece. I met someone yesterday who said he'd asked a Greek bank manager what their best financial product was, what their best-selling financial product was, and they said it was safety deposit boxes. Essentially, the choice for Greek people is to basically keep their money under their mattresses because they're worried what will happen to it. And that's not just happening in Greece. We're hearing reports that it's happening in Spain too, and it could possibly spread to Italy. There's been the recent nationalisation of one of Spain's biggest banks, Bankia, and reports that Spanish people have also withdrawn a total of around €1 billion just in the past few days from those banks. So the fear isn't that without Greece the Eurozone would collapse. The fear is that Greece's leaving would create a sort of house of cards effect whereby everything else would fall down after that. And of course this is against a backdrop of huge political differences between the main players in this. This new French President François Hollande is very anti-austerity. In fact, says he's going to increase spending in France. Angela Merkel doesn't see it like that at all. So we've got a lot of political wrangling from those major players who, according to what David Cameron said today, are the only ones who could potentially sort this out.
All right, we'll have to see what happens. RT's Laura Smith live for us in London. Thanks for that update.